Mr. Jaitley, many thanks for speaking to us at ET Now. Let me first begin by congratulating you. It has been a historic win for the BJP today. But many say that because Mr. Modi campaigned so much, it is a win mostly for Prime Minister Modi and not for BJP. What are you going to
I don't think there is a distinction between the two. It's certainly a victory for the BJP, which is led by Mr. Modi. It's an endorsement of Mr. Modi's leadership. It is an endorsement of his government's policies. And it's an endorsement of the campaign which he led. Let me just clarify. The Prime Minister's extensive campaign certainly provided us with the cutting edge. And I think when I used to read pieces in the newspaper, oh, why is he campaigning so extensively? Are they nervous? I think one of the ideas was to consolidate the lead. Now, the last two phases where he campaigned 3 days in a row, I was just checking up the figures. Out of the 89 seats, in the last two phases, we won close to 70. And therefore, obviously, the campaigning has helped. Secondly, I think the policies of the government in the last 3 years have been endorsed. The poor have shifted towards the BJP in a big way. And this shifting of the poor, because the benefits of economic growth, larger revenue, the policies were directed towards the poor. So whether it was the Janadhan, or it was the money into their bank accounts, or it was the free gas connections to the very poor people, or the demonetisation. After all, non-payment of taxes creates an unjust enrichment in favour of the tax evader. And this money would actually be used for the poor, would be used for the country. So I think the average man, the Aam Aadmi, understood this argument. And therefore the coalition that was supporting the BJP, the social coalition, was very large, almost akin to a rainbow coalition. And therefore I think a combination of several factors helped us to score this victory.
Do you also believe that going forward from here on, the government will look at more reforms, because it obviously gives the government...
well, the government has never slowed down on reforms.
Is it a referendum on the government's demonetisation drive?
You see, the government has never slowed down on the reforms. From day one, we've moved in one direction. We'll continue to move in that direction. We want a higher growth. We want more reforms for higher growth. And we want to use those resources for the benefit of the poor of the country. I think as far as the demonetisation is concerned, it's certainly an endorsement of our policy. I can't say it's a referendum because no election is a election issue. But it's certainly an endorsement of our policies. And it was extremely popular with the people. It has been welcomed by the people. The opposition to it was confined really to the parliament and the disturbance of parliament in one session. On the street, there was not a single protest anywhere. People who waited for days in queues, when they were interviewed by our channels, they came up and said, well, we've been put to an inconvenience, but we welcome the move. And therefore, this vote itself has shown that the fact that poor rallied around the government, which really means that this was an extremely popular move with the people.
Many are also calling Mandate 2017 as a semi-final to 2019. However, there is a little bit of a road bump when we see the kind of results that have come in the state of Punjab and Manipur. Are there any takeaways?
I think Manipur is a historic result. We are hoping to form a government. You see, if you look at the northeast, in state after state, Assam, Arunachal, now Manipur, we've made an advancement, and therefore Manipur, from almost a zero-seat situation, we are almost in a position today to form a government. So I think Manipur is the most significant victory. Well, as far as Punjab is concerned, I am one of those who believe that we ran a good government along with our senior partners in Punjab, the Akali Dal. Punjab has seen a lot of growth and development, but there was a two-term anti-incumbency, and which has taken its toll. But as was being predicted by psephologists and many others, we are down but not out. We've still got 31% of the vote, which is a reasonably high percentage. And therefore, we will play a role of a good opposition, safeguard public interest, and hope for a comeback sooner or later.
But the opposition, as far as SP, Congress, BSP are concerned, they seem decimated.
You see, I think the Congress has made two historic blunders. Its first historic blunder was, in recent days, to oppose the moves like the demonetisation. By doing so, it made sure that the poor as an electoral constituency shift to the BJP. The second, I think when we saw symbols of anti-national activity in the country, the JNU slogans, people want to break India, and therefore you find the tallest leader of the Congress goes and identifies with them. So BJP became the sole defender of the nationalist constituency. Now here is a run-up to the election where we are seen as pro-poor, we are seen as economically a reformist, and we are seen as a sole defender of the nationalist constituency in the country. And I think Congress conceded that advantage to us in a run-up to the elections.
My last question to you, and this on one of the promises that the BJP government made of a farm loan waiver in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Do you think fiscally we are in a kind of a situation?
Well, every state has to manage its own resources, and I'm sure when the new government takes over, its leadership will take that into consideration and implement the promise that they have made.
All right, on that note, many thanks for talking to us.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.